Have you ever wondered how negative reinforcing factors might impact immigration policy? A seemingly simple question, with layers of complexity. Imagine a triad, a cycle of three elements, each influencing and being influenced by the others. Now imagine what happens when one of these elements is absent or reversed. We call this a negated triad. These triads can offer a unique perspective on the dynamics of immigration policy. Intriguing, isn't it? Let's delve deeper into these intriguing negated triads. Imagine a world where public opinion has no influence. Dive into a hypothetical scenario where the public's voice has little to no impact on the world around them. In this negated triad, we're exploring a world where public opinion, represented as D, is largely ignored or undervalued. Consider a society where public opinion is sidelined, where the collective voice of the people doesn't hold the sway it's supposed to. In this circumstance, we're looking at a media landscape, referred to as A, that is disengaged from the public sentiment. It's not reflecting the true feelings, concerns, or aspirations of the people. Instead, it's operating in a vacuum, churning out content that may not resonate with the public or address their concerns effectively. Now let's take this one step further. In such a world, the government policies, denoted as B, could become disconnected from the needs and sentiments of the public. Policies are formulated without a firm grasp or understanding of what the public actually wants or needs. This could lead to a widening gap between policymakers and the people they're supposed to serve, creating a chasm that could be difficult to bridge. But it doesn't stop there. This cycle can continue to reinforce itself. Certain government policies could further alienate public opinion, pushing it further into the periphery. This could lead to an even greater disconnect between the media, the government, and the public, creating a cycle that is self-sustaining and potentially detrimental to the overall fabric of society. The media, instead of being a conduit between the public and the government, becomes a barrier. It's broadcasting messages that don't align with the public sentiment, further alienating the people. The government, in turn, formulates policies based on this skewed media coverage, leading to policies that may not reflect the public's needs or sentiments. In the absence of a strong public voice, the media and government could spiral into a cycle of disconnection and misalignment, growing increasingly out of touch with the public they're supposed to serve and represent. This could result in a society where the people feel unheard, their concerns unaddressed, and their needs unmet. This negation of the triad of public opinion, media, and government policies paints a compelling picture of what could happen when one element in a triad is disrupted or absent. It underscores the importance of each element and the role they play in maintaining a balanced and functional society. In such a scenario, the government and media could grow increasingly out of touch with the public. This serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences when the voices of the public are not heard or considered in the realms of media and government policy. Now, let's consider the effects of adverse economic conditions. Imagine a scenario where the economy takes a nosedive. Unemployment soars, businesses struggle, and economic anxiety is the order of the day. This is the start of our second negated triad, where negative economic factors come into play. Now, in such a situation, the cultural and social dynamics towards immigration could shift. The pressure of economic uncertainty can often lead to an increase in anti-immigrant sentiments. The narrative that immigrants are taking our jobs or draining our resources can become more prominent, even if it's not backed by evidence. This is our first step: adverse economic conditions, fostering negative cultural and social dynamics towards immigration. The question then becomes, how does the media respond to this shift in cultural and social dynamics? Well, in this negated triad, the media reflects the negativity. News reports, talk shows, social media posts, they all start amplifying these anti-immigrant sentiments. The media in this case becomes a mirror, reflecting the social unease and cultural tensions, and potentially fueling them further. And here's where the cycle becomes even more concerning. This negative portrayal of immigrants in the media could further deteriorate the economic situation. How? By discouraging the integration of immigrants who could contribute to the economy. A thriving economy needs a diverse workforce, people with different skills, experiences, and perspectives. Immigrants often fill vital roles in various sectors, from tech to agriculture to healthcare. But if the media stokes fear and mistrust towards immigrants, they might find it harder to integrate into society and contribute to the economy. This could lead to a shortage of workers in certain sectors, a lack of diversity in the workforce, and even a decrease in economic activity. The economy, already under strain, could face even more challenges. And so, the cycle continues. The economic situation worsens, leading to more negativity towards immigrants, which is reflected in the media, which then exacerbates the economic downturn. It's a reinforcing cycle, with each element feeding into the next, creating a loop of negativity that can be hard to break. But remember, this is a negated triad, a scenario where the typical influences are reversed or absent. It's a what-if situation, a way to explore how disrupting one element in a triad can affect the entire cycle. The point here isn't to paint a bleak picture or suggest that this is the only outcome in such circumstances. Instead, it's to highlight the interconnectedness of economic factors, cultural and social dynamics, and media coverage in the context of immigration policy. It's to underscore how a shift in one area can have ripple effects across the others, affecting the entire immigration landscape. This cycle could potentially exacerbate anti-immigrant sentiments and economic downturns. But by understanding these dynamics, by recognizing these potential cycles, we can work towards policies and practices that counteract this negativity, that promote understanding and integration, and that ultimately contribute to a more balanced and inclusive society. What happens when there's a lack of cohesive political ideology? This question brings us to the third negated triad, the interplay between political ideology, legal frameworks, and international relations. Imagine a scenario where there is no clear, established political ideology. This could mean that there's a lack of consensus on fundamental principles or policy directions, or perhaps existing ideologies are fragmented or weak. This lack of cohesiveness, can have far-reaching implications, starting with the legal framework of a country. In the context of immigration, the legal framework, H, refers to the laws, regulations, and judicial practices that govern immigration procedures and policies. A clear, cohesive political ideology often provides the foundation for a robust legal framework. It helps to determine the values and principles that underpin the laws and regulations of a country. But when this ideological foundation is shaky or non-existent, it can lead to an ineffective or inconsistent legal framework. An ineffective legal framework can result in policies that are confusing, contradictory, or even unjust. It can create barriers for immigrants seeking to navigate the system and can lead to unfair treatment or discriminatory practices. Moreover, inconsistencies in the legal framework can also result in inefficiencies and bureaucratic hurdles that can deter potential immigrants and negatively impact the country's ability to attract and retain talent. The effects of an inconsistent legal framework don't stop at the national level. They can also spill over into the realm of international relations. Why? Immigration is inherently an international issue, involving the movement of people across borders. As such, it requires cooperation and coordination between countries. A country's immigration policies and legal framework can significantly influence its relationships with other nations. For instance, a country with a confusing or inconsistent immigration policy can create diplomatic tensions. It can lead to disagreements or conflicts over issues such as refugee resettlement, border control, or the treatment of foreign workers. These tensions can strain diplomatic relations, potentially leading to trade disputes, political standoffs, or even international legal disputes. But the cycle doesn't stop there. These negative outcomes in international relations can further weaken or fragment the already shaky political ideology, at home. The diplomatic conflicts or international challenges can exacerbate divisions within the political landscape, leading to further fragmentation of ideologies. This in turn can result in even more inconsistency in the legal framework, further straining international relations, and so the cycle continues, each element negatively impacting the others, leading to a downward spiral of ineffective policymaking and international challenges. This is the negated cycle of political ideology, legal framework, and international relations. But this isn't just a theoretical exercise. This scenario is a stark warning of what can happen when we neglect the importance of a cohesive political ideology in shaping immigration policy. It's a reminder that we need clear, principled political ideologies to guide our legal frameworks and our international relations. Without them, we risk falling into a cycle of ineffective policymaking and strained international relations. And this isn't just about immigration, it's about our ability to effectively navigate any policy area that requires coordination and consensus, both within our countries and with our international partners. So, let's not forget the importance of political ideology in shaping our world. Whether we're discussing immigration or any other policy issue, let's strive for clarity, consistency, and cohesiveness in our ideologies. Because without them, we risk falling into a cycle of confusion and conflict both at home and abroad. This could result in a cycle of ineffective policymaking and international challenges. This is the danger of the negation of the triad of political ideology, legal framework, and international relations. But by recognizing and addressing these risks, we can work towards more effective, fair, and just immigration policies. Finally, let's explore the impact of limited use of technology and media. Consider a world where technological and media trends are not as influential as they are today. Imagine a scenario where the dissemination of information, the shaping of public opinion, and the reporting of demographic changes are not as seamless, expedient, or as comprehensive as they should be. This is the essence of our final negated triad, the negation of technological trends and media, public opinion, and demographic changes. In this scenario, the ineffective use of technology and media, represented as negated J, fails to adequately inform or engage the public, denoted as D, on immigration issues. This lack of information and engagement can have far-reaching implications. When technology and media do not effectively communicate the complexities and nuances of immigration, public opinion may be shaped by misinformation or lack of information. The public may not fully understand the implications of immigration policies, the benefits and challenges of immigration, or the realities of demographic changes. This lack of understanding can fuel fear, prejudice, and resistance towards immigration and demographic changes. Now, let's delve into the third element of the triad, demographic changes, or negated K. In the context of immigration, demographic changes can refer to shifts in the population due to immigration, such as an increase in the number of immigrants, changes in the age distribution, or variations in the ethnic composition of a population. When public opinion is not adequately informed or engaged by technology and media, these demographic changes may not be well received or understood. The public may not be prepared for these changes, or they may perceive these changes as threatening or disruptive. Indeed, demographic shifts due to immigration can have profound social, economic, and political implications, but without effective communication through technology and media, these implications may not be fully understood or addressed. These demographic changes, in turn, can lead to further disengagement or misinformation in the media and technology sectors, represented by negated J. If the public does not understand or accept demographic changes, they may become more disengaged from media coverage of immigration issues, or they may be more susceptible to misinformation or biased reporting. Thus, we see a cycle of miscommunication and misunderstanding. The ineffective use of technology and media leads to a poorly informed public opinion, which is unprepared for or resistant to demographic changes. These demographic changes, in turn, perpetuate the cycle by further disengaging the public and fueling misinformation in the media and technology sectors. This cycle underscores the critical role of technology and media in shaping public opinion and understanding of demographic changes. It highlights the need for accurate, comprehensive, and accessible information on immigration issues, and it underscores the potential consequences of misinformation or disengagement. This could perpetuate a cycle of miscommunication and misunderstanding. As we've seen, understanding these negated triads is crucial for comprehending the dynamics of immigration policy. We've delved into 4 key negated triads that illustrate how disruptions to the expected influences can skew the immigration landscape. Firstly, we explored how a lack of influential public opinion could lead to a disconnect between media coverage and government policies. This disconnection can result in policies that fail to reflect public sentiments, thus creating a cycle of alienation. Next, we examined how adverse economic factors can foster negative cultural and social dynamics towards immigration. This negativity can be reflected and exacerbated by the media, in turn, worsening the economic situation. Then we looked at how a fragmented political ideology can lead to an inconsistent legal framework, negatively impacting international relations. This can result in diplomatic conflicts and challenges in managing international immigration flows. Finally, we dissected how ineffective use of technology and media can lead to demographic changes that are not well received or understood by the public. These changes can further disengage media and technology sectors, perpetuating a cycle of miscommunication and misunderstanding. In each of these scenarios, we see how the disruption of one element can lead to a ripple effect, impacting the entire cycle. These negated cycles underscore the delicate balance in immigration policy dynamics. By considering these scenarios, we can better understand and navigate the complex landscape of immigration policy.